I love the ministry. I love inner city ministry. The last few years, I've been with Inner City 18. Part of that was trying to figure out what in the world am I doing here. But part of it was trying to figure out in my own mind, how can I help these folks and these young people not to add to that number that I hate. But we visit the different households on Saturdays and then pick them up on Sunday afternoon and Tuesday nights. And you know, it dawned on me, I can't have guns all over my bus. Can't have switchblades all over the bus. Had to put a guy off because he put a switchblade in a girl's back. She didn't like it, I didn't like it, but I didn't know what to do about it. So, you know, somehow or another I came along with a box. And somebody said, what's the box for? And I said, that's where everybody has to put their guns and their nunchucks and their brass knucks and all that stuff that you fight with. They'd get on my bus with the agreement we were going to be at peace. They'd fill up my little old box, and I kept saying John 13:34. Jesus said, I command you, love one another. And not all of it took. A lot of times they didn't act like they loved one another. So whenever it got to the point that they didn't feel like they needed to even bring their guns and their knives. So I took mine off the bus and didn't carry it, and I don't carry one today. And hopefully some of those young people survived the street, and maybe maybe they survived because they started leaving their gun home too.
I never forget that day. When I received the news that Eric was killed, I couldn't even, I really didn't even hear the person at first, what they were saying. I don't think I wanted to hear them. And when I did comprehend it, I just fell to the floor. Just the shock of someone knocking on my door and telling me that my child has been killed. And it's not the normal process for a parent to bury their child, but sometimes we have to, and it's hard. And I think about Eric every day. Not a day go by that I don't think about him.
You know, I don't know how many have died that I know, but I have kept track of the 136 that died on the street, that rode our buses, that came to our camp, that did things with us, and somebody killed them, and we participated in their funerals, and some of them we were just present with the family at their funerals. But I kept track of that 136. They were my kids that I made an effort to teach the truth and wound up having to bury them. And I just don't want that number to grow.
Kids that live in the projects are different from kids that, you know, grow up in houses and stuff. They see a lot. We see death a lot in the projects. We see people get shot, killed, drugs. When my son was 12 years old, I just lost, I didn't have control of him. He just started running with other kids, and he would start getting into trouble, and he was running with the wrong kids. And I told my son that, I talked to my son, I begged him, I pleaded with him, and I told him, like, all of his friends around him, they was dying every day. I was going to funerals 3 times a month. I was going to funerals. My son, 3 of his friends, they got killed within 30 days. They killed them. They killed them all one by one. And I didn't know that my son, he was gonna die too. It's a day that I will never, never, ever forget. But I just thank God that I had Carlos for 18 years in my life. And I loved him very, very much, and I tried to raise my kids and do the best I could do by myself. And I had to find a church home to belong to. and inner city was at church home. And I know that the church is a big, big support. Without inner city church, I really just don't know what I would do, because they help so much. They all do. And without them, I don't think I could make it.
You know, the bunch I have with me today, some of them, they're a little difficult, but they're not any more difficult than the 136. These kids that I work with that ride this bus, many of them tell me, I wish I knew a grandparent. Would you be my grandparent? So basically that's what I'm trying to do. I teach friendship evangelism. I become friends with everybody on the street, Muslim or whoever. And then I try to prove that I'm your friend by being a friend when you need one. Our young people that ride this bus, a lot of them probably going to grow up thinking that they need that handout from the government, whenever all they need is a hand up from us in the community and help them to get an education, help them to get on their feet, because they can do it. There ain't a kid on this bus that ain't as smart as I am, if not smarter than I am. And yet most of them think that they can't arrive, can't get there. I just wish that more people would kind of adopt grandchildren, and you don't have to take them home with you. You'll feel like you did whenever one of them gets shot, but usually that's really what they need. They need somebody who loves them enough in spite of the problems they cause.